Welcome to Burn the Ship. This is a podcast where we connect entrepreneurs or professionals that can help you go all in on your business. We talk to people that have walked the walk, talked the talk, been through all the things that we experience in the business world, and have joined us to share some of those skills and experiences so that we can run our businesses more effectively. So, thank you for joining me. First of all, your time, both on the phone when we originally met, and my need to reschedule with you, and you joining me
It's
on the
okay.
podcast. You've been very hospitable and kind, and an absolute joy to talk to. So I thank you for the pleasure of getting to kind of facilitate the telling of your story today, and I look forward to sharing that with my audience. So thank you. It does mean a lot. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, I am Shelley Simpson, and being flexible is so important. And I know it's hard to schedule, and you've got a lot of moving pieces. So I'm glad I could be able to be flexible enough and be here today. My story is long and has lots of chapters, and I'm not done yet. I've got lots to do. But I suppose you want to hear the story about how I got into this whole nutrition space,
Sure, I'd
um,
love it.
which is it was interesting because I've been a gym rat and worked out and watched my diet and ever since I had my kids who are both in their 50s, by the way. And it was in my 50s that I started to notice there were changes. Is I didn't want to slow down. I have, pedal to the metal is how I operate. And I had several careers before. I'm a lawyer by training. I was in politics and health policy, and I know what it's like to work eight to faint every day and just keep going and going and going. And when I started to see this slowdown, I didn't like it. And so I turned to the experts. I turned to the doc. I turned to my trainer, and it was basically, you have to control your health. And I was introduced to Juice Plus. I've been with the Juice Plus company as a customer for over 20 years, and now as a partner for almost 19. And I scoffed. I thought, how did they put like all that nutrition in a capsule? Because at the time we had capsules, and we had three different capsules. We didn't have the shakes yet, but we had a few things, and so I scoffed, and then I looked at the research, and I was impressed. There were 17 studies that showed that Juice Plus worked like food in the body because it's food. And now we have, I think, over 50 studies, independent research publications. And so I thought I'd give it a try. And what I found was that I had that renewed energy. I had that sense of vitality coming back, and I don't want to lose it. So I haven't missed a day in over 20 years. And then a few years after that, I was working, and it occurred to me that this was something I could do for the rest of my life, that I could make a difference in people's lives. I could help them prevent disease, slow the aging process, and really enjoy vitality. And I could do this forever. I don't have to, this was before remote was a thing. I could work remotely. I could work from anywhere and help a whole lot of people. So that's what I've been doing, and I haven't looked back. I enjoy every day. Well, I enjoy every day, but like anything else, there are those moments. Uh, and so I'm looking forward to helping as many people as I can enjoy the kind of life that I'm enjoying at this point.
I'm happy for you. First of all, I think that I had some of that like renewed sense of life in a chapter of my life coming away from sports and going into my professional career and being a parent and things like that. When you kind of lose your identity and have to re-find it again, that renewed sense of I'm worth something somewhere and I can live my life the way that I want is a powerful thing. So I am happy for you to have felt those things. I think everyone needs to feel some of those things in their life.
Yeah, I think having purpose and passion is what keeps us connected to people. It keeps us connected to ourselves and our own fundamental values because living life is layered. There's so much that goes into being able to fulfill whatever is your calling. And I know, for some people the 9 to 5 is what they want. And then they have their passions and purposes outside of their jobs. For me, I feel so lucky that I could pull them all together, which I was able to do in all of my careers, really, is find something that connected me to other people, as well as to have something that I'm passionate about that has a purpose. That's the full level of humanity is purpose, I think.
I think so too. I think one of the things that you do brilliantly, and I would love for you to kind of put this into your own words, but when we talked the first time, and I was introduced by Sophie, one of the things that she told me, and then one of the things that you echoed to me completely unprompted, is the value that you put on your relationship with your client and the focus you put on helping people. I think that the I don't know really the term that is like every term feels like politically incorrect. Like every term feels
Oh,
like
go for it.
pyramid
Go
scheme,
for it.
but like multi-level marketing, like whatever term that you want to use to identify those things gives an extraordinary push financially for you to bring other people on under you and create this downline and passive income and go back to doing whatever you want because you have 20 people making you all this money. And that has never really been your focus. Your focus has been on the customers, on the people,
Yes.
and changing their life and improving those people. So talk to me a little bit about where that passion and that stance comes from and how it has reflected on the success of your business.
Well, it's interesting that every profession carries some baggage, some stigma. I happen to
Absolutely.
be like the triple threat because a lawyer who was in politics and now
Yeah, yeah.
in direct selling. I've heard it all. And you think about lawyers and they're just billing hours and billing hours and billing hours. That was not me. In politics, I was blessed that I could work for issues and politicians who were, in my mind, the good guys. And then doing this, having a very customer, and our whole company is like this. It's a company with a heart. It's customer centric. And yes, one can build a team. I've built a team. You can bring people on, but it's never been just for the sake of bringing people on. It's looking for like-minded people who want to do good in the world, who want to impact health. And so for me, my business model is customer centric. Just because you're a customer doesn't mean you're a candidate for the business. I'm thrilled when people are getting healthy and doing their job and doing their sports and raising their kids and doing all the things they want to do. And for people who do want a business, I'm available. But I, again, will ask, what is it you're looking for? It's not for everyone. We all have our skills, we all have our passions, we all have our abilities, and I like matching those up. And so for me, customers are they're my best stories, they're my best referral sources, they're the people who ultimately some decide, yeah, they want to do this, but for the most part it's about their health, it's about relationships. I have my first few customers from way back in the beginning because they know I'm here about for them. We serve each other so that we can serve others, and it works. So I'm not going to change it anytime soon.
I think that that stance and mindset is something that a lot of the people in the business world could learn from. When you prioritize the experience and just the betterment of your clients in general, you will find success. One of the ways that we do that in my company is by asking questions and talking about a lot of the things that we don't do. Like we
Mhm.
try to build this network of people who fall in love with the idea of helping their clients build their life to what they want it to be. If I hear people with medical issues or sleep problems or just overall health and wellness issues in general, Like my referral would not be to primary care. It just wouldn't. I would look into my network for people like yourself that I believe can help those people, that want to help those people and are excited about that opportunity. So I think that there's a lot of that you can take to that in the small business world as well. Like if you focus on your clients, they're going to treat you with respect and with care, and they're going to love you, and they're going to want you in their corner, and they're going to ask you questions about those things, and leaving you doesn't even cross their mind because you're so valuable in so many different ways. And that's genuinely just a genuine focus and interest in your clients' lives and trying to make those things better. So I applaud you for that. I hope that we can apply a lot of that same logic to what we do on a day-to-day basis, and for you guys listening as well. But for you, what's been difficult? You didn't really have to do like the testing and understanding of the product. You knew that you had a lot of faith in your products. You knew how to build relationships with your customers. But with those two things, I imagine there's a lot of logistics that need to happen on how do you grow this thing and how do I make that work for my life. So what's been difficult for you? If you could go back and kind of teach yourself a lesson on day one, what would it be?
Well, I think being nimble. We didn't anticipate COVID. We don't anticipate, things that are going to happen. But for me, it's always been asking what people want when they come to me, or when they're being a resource for people. What are you looking for? If they're not looking to be healthier, okay, that doesn't happen very often, but there are people who just are not, they're not concerned about it. They're not worried about it. They think it's all going to be okay, or they're have some preconceived notion that their parents had some condition, they were going to have it. They're just resigned to getting old. Uh, I'm not going to change people's minds. So it's being a resource. What else can I help you with? And over time, when they watch, when they listen, they come around, and they start asking questions. So I think first being a resource for people outside of what I do, and being always mindful. The most difficult thing for me is listening to people who are resigned to poor health, listening to people who are not open to nutrition, whether from me or anywhere else. I don't think diets and deprivation don't work. They're just, people don't stick with that. But this resignation to, I'm just going to be this way. We're just going to get old and crotchety, and you can't do anything about it. That makes me sad because it's not true. And so it's difficult sometimes to hear people and where their mindset is, and try to judge at what, where to make the inroad, how to ask a question that makes them think that it doesn't have to be that way. um, and when people are in struggle, I hear all the stories, and it breaks your heart when people can't see their way forward. But I have to realize I can't save everyone. I can just be here for when they finally are ready to listen, ready to open their hearts and wrap their head around the fact that life can be better physically. We don't have to be sick. We don't have to be tired. We don't have to be unhappy. Those things, life happens. You have a choice of how to deal with it. And over my, decades on this side of the garden, I've had the ups and downs, and so I know what the downs feel like. And it's hard when I can't help somebody see the other side.
Absolutely. I think that battling perception is a difficult thing. It is it can be exhausting,
Mhm.
really. Is really probably the best way to put it, is that if you're trying to change people's mind and convince people that, whether you're trying to convince people about your company or yourself or your product, or just give them a little bit of belief and faith that they can be and do and feel something better for themselves, it's really hard to deal with the I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing answer.
Yeah.
Like I can relate
Bailey,
that. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, you can't change, none of us can change anyone's mind. They can change their own mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay with them. I mean, clearly there are people that, you can't, they don't want. and so you move on. But for the most part, building that relationship and always offering information and making it very clear that it's not about the sale. Sure, I want the sale. This is what I do for a living. Uh, but it's not that. It's about making the difference, helping them see a better future for their health and their fitness, and to be able to continue to do things, even if in a limited way. So I don't get exhausted from trying to change minds, because I know I can't. What can be exhausting sometimes um, is the worry about them, and
Sure.
you have to grow in any business. You have to grow that professional distance where I just can't be worried. It's on them, and I've had people who've had real serious issues, and some have come along, and some have just, they're still out there, and they see me, they know I'm here, and I'm ready when they're ready, but I can't let that deter me from going on to the people who really do want help.
Absolutely. I can equate that the exact same way to my business is that you get very emotionally attached to that
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Like the kind of the same way that you view the consumers, I view the business, right? Like people come to me and they're having issues. Like business is hard. This thing that is their lifeblood that determines where their kids go to school and the house that they live in and the clothes that they wear. And they're worried. Like they're seeing the writing on the wall. They know that if they don't change things that this thing's going under and we're going to have to pivot and try something different. And you get very emotionally attached to the success of those people. And it's very hard to walk into a room where maybe someone really doesn't even have the perception that they're like, was living inside of a ticking time bomb. Maybe they just genuinely don't know. Maybe they have that ignorance is bliss and they're happy about what they're doing. And it's kind of on you to educate those people of like, here's what you can be doing better, here's where you can really create this environment in your business that can be healthy for you and conducive for growth.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't want to make the change, they don't want to deal with the change, they don't want to do different things. People are creatures of habit and they want to continue to consistently do what they've been doing for so long. And you're absolutely right, I can't change your mind on that. I can only educate you about what I see and how I feel I can help, and the decisions to move forward and better your life or better your businesses, or they're completely your decisions or your decisions alone. I really think that that's kind of a beautiful thing about business is that you do get to make those decisions. You have earned the right to make mistakes.
Hmm.
And if you use those mistakes in a positive way, I believe that it makes you a better human. And if you let those mistakes be a barrier between you and where you want to go and the fear of making that mistake again or the fear of feeling that way when you made a mistake, if you let that inhibit the way that you attack your day-to-day life, you will see a lot of the same. You will see stagnance and you will see just repeating the same things. I mean, if you wake up every day and you feel like crap, you need to do something about your health. If you wake up every day and you wonder how you're going to make payroll or why you have to pay all these bills or what am I making money on or what am I not, like there are things that you need to change in your business, and everybody goes through that process and everybody makes mistakes, and people correct course and they figure things out, and not all the same things work for everybody. And that's the value of putting the focus on your client, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the value of every scenario being unique.
We are educators and storytellers,
Mhm.
and giving people enough information as they want it, not dumping it on them, but giving them, asking the right questions, finding where the wound is, giving them the information to heal that wound, but also the stories, our stories, to connect at that level where I might not have the same story as you, but I know what it's like to be wrong. I
Mhm.
know what it's like not to see what's coming. I know all those things. And so if you connect on that, then you have the relationship and everything follows. For me, they have to trust. I've done the research, so they don't have to. They can look at the research, they can know what I know, but they don't have time to do all of that. So the relationship comes first. And then understanding that even if they said no, or even if they were resistant, like I was, with the eye roll and the, yeah, okay, right, whatever, that it's okay to come back. So if you keep that common bond of we're in the well, to use yours, we're in the same boat.
Really?
And so we can do it together. We can lift that boat up together. Um, then things work. It's when you try to push it, when you try to make people feel that they are wrong. They might feel wrong, but they should never feel that I'm saying they're wrong. Their approach might be different from mine, but it's their approach and it's okay. And then who knows what is in the future, which ways we can help each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to keep an open mind and a real heart for people. I think that we use the words genuine and we use the words authentic here, and a
Oh,
care for people and a willingness to let people make mistakes is about as genuine and authentic as you can be. But where do you go for here? One, I have two questions. If people want to buy something from you, if they're
mhm.
curious about the products, if they're curious about the impact that it made in your life, or they just want to discuss it, where do they find you? And
They
two,
can call me.
yeah, sure, absolutely. If you want to
Give them
drop your
my
number.
phone number. In many ways, you can go direct to the website, obviously, but I always feel like inviting someone to look at the website is like inviting them to come to my house and then not be home.
Right.
So that's there, but I'm available. Email, social media I'm on, but a phone call, it's a conversation. You're not going to get a presentation, that I can guarantee. It's a conversation. Who are you? What are you looking to do? Is it weight management you're looking for? Is it just a peace of mind? Do you have kids who need to be healthier? What is it that you want? And then we can talk about where the solutions lie. And this is nutritional support. It's not medicine. It's not a cure. It's preventative. So it's just call me and
Yeah.
say, I saw you on Bailey's show. Let's talk.
Well, we'll put the information to reach out to you in the description. And then where do you go from here? What are your goals? Where do you go and how can we help?
Well, I want to talk to people. I want to meet people. Where do I go from here? I've got um, well, let's just say I've got a lot behind me and I'm looking forward to a lot ahead of me. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to keep growing and touching people and spreading the education that we do not have to be sick and tired. We do not have to get up every day feeling like crap. We put our feet on the floor with an idea that we can accomplish what we want to accomplish. I run, I punch the heavy bag, I work out, I
Hmm.
do all the things that I want to do. Perhaps not with, the I don't know. I think I do it with the same stamina and the same peace of mind, but I do it with gratitude. I took it for granted when I was younger. Now I do it with gratitude. And when people ask me, well, when are you going to, I'll put it right out there. I'm 76 years old. When am I going to stop running? I'm not, I don't plan on it. I feel like every day is an adventure. So where do I go from here? Straightforward, straight up, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing it with joy and anticipation of really reaching out and helping people live their full potential.
I can only aspire to take the attitude that you have about your day to day life and implement that into my life for many years to come. I can only hope that for myself and my family, the way that you approach what you do and the gratitude that you do it with and the joy it permeates your business, it permeates your conversation, and I have been very blessed to help facilitate this conversation and to introduce you to some of my audience. So thank you for that. And for you guys
Thank you.
listening, I think that there's a lot of logic that you can apply, whether it's in your personal life or in your business or to your health or nutrition, trying to do the best that you can and focusing on it, not running from your problems and being grateful that you're capable of trying to tackle those things is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I encourage you all to burn the ship in whatever way you see fit. I promise that you will be surprised at what you're capable of.
That's right. Just keep doing what you love, do what you do, and be grateful for every single day. There are obstacles, but there are opportunities that come with them.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, burn the ship.